Sev, and welcome to How to Channel Part 1, Raise Your Frequency. The quality of your channeling experience is directly related to the quality of your personal frequency. In this video, I will discuss why channeling is valuable, famous channelers, quantum information flow, how to raise your frequency through your mind and through your heart, the pineal gland or third eye, various forms of channeling, universal consciousness, and as I often do, I include scientific research to further reinforce these concepts. We will channel together through 2 meditations, and after that, there'll be a channeled message. Plus, you will be assigned homework. And you have 2 weeks to finish your homework until Part 2 debuts, How to Connect with Your Spirit Guide. So get comfortable, get relaxed. I suggest you have your pets with you because they can feel the transformation of the energy in the room. They can feel the amping up of your frequency and they like it. It's calming for them. Plus, it'll further reinforce the bond that you have with your pets. Have paper and pen and use earphones, especially for the meditations. They will be much more effective if you use earphones. Okay, are you ready? We're about to amp up your frequency. It is natural for you to pick up information not using your 5 senses. It is also natural for you to communicate with people and animals through these extrasensory pathways. There is nothing special about people who can channel, or people who talk to the dead, or people who do astral travel. We are all hardwired and soft-wired to do this. It just takes practice to hear this interdimensional information, but it's not difficult. You are extrasensory and multidimensional by design. Whether you know it or not, you are always using your extrasensory skills. We all channel 24/7. Some of us consciously hear this interdimensional information, and we all subconsciously hear this information. By accessing this interdimensional information, you are expressing your true, authentic self. Animals rely on their instincts, which is the gathering of extrasensory information, and they rely on it for their survival, and so do we. You can perform better as a human when you stop denying your innate ability to channel. Nikola Tesla admitted to channeling information from outside of Earth to bring forth his revolutionary inventions. Carlos Santana admits he channeled Metatron to write the music for Supernatural, which went platinum 15 times. George Lucas credits his meditations and spiritual teachings to form the character and plots of Star Wars. Jimi Hendrix spoke about seeing people's auras and felt an out-of-this-world energy move through him when he played his music. Carl Jung, the father of analytical psychology, talked openly about the spiritual world and its effects on us. Sir Isaac Newton said he channeled spiritual information from God. Harriet Tubman said she had visions showing her where to go, when to take action, and who to trust, leading herself and slaves to safety along the Underground Railroad. Albert Einstein spoke openly about how his scientific achievements were brought forth from unscientific means. Channeled information has molded our history, inventions, entertainment, knowledge, and belief systems. The information gained from channeling has the potential to shape our lives for the better. We know that we radiate energy. This is scientifically proven. But did you know there's information in the energy that you radiate? Energy or electromagnetic field broadcasts who you are, what you believe, how you view yourself, and how you view the world. It is filled with information and knowledge. Your energetic field melds with the fields of others, forming a tightly woven energy web. You walk through these energy webs everywhere, in your home, car, backyard, neighborhood, on the highway, in the grocery store, your office, at the coffee shop, everywhere. What kind of energy are you adding to the mix? What qualities are you radiating? Is your personal frequency adding positive or negative vibrations to these energy webs around us? What information is in the energy you exude? In the United States National Library of Medicine at the National Institutes of Health, you will find an article entitled Biofield Science, Current Physics Perspectives. It has several authors from the scientific and spiritual communities. This article claims evidence for the existence of a biofield now exists and describes the biofield as an organizing principle for the dynamic information flow that regulates biological function and homeostasis. Biofield interactions can organize biological processes from the subatomic, molecular, and cellular to the interpersonal and cosmic levels. Biofield interactions can influence a variety of biological pathways, including biochemical, neurological, and cellular processes related to the electromagnetism correlated to quantum information flow. This quantum information flow has no boundaries. It flows from you, through you, around you, and into infinity. It is through this quantum flow that we connect to one another and to other multidimensional entities. What if you could see this energetic flow from your body? We can. We call them auras. Many of us see auras, and with practice, we all can. The meditations in this video activate your natural ability to see auras and energy. By meditating and practicing, you can see the energy around your cat or a flower. You can see auras of people. Everyone is a walking light show and orchestra. You have your own colors and your own sound. There is a gentleman who can see the energy of things. His name is Jason Paget. He was attacked outside of a bar many years ago, and the brutal beating changed his vision. The world looks like a series of pixelated movie frames to him. Here is his drawing of how a hand looks. This is his drawing of the number pi. Even numbers and letters have frequency radiating from them. We know we exude an energetic vibration. Are we in control of the energy we exude? Yes, we are in control of the energy we exude. One way we control the quality of our personal frequency is through our mind. Every thought we have is electric. It has an energy to it. And with every thought you have, that energy runs through your body and radiates from you. So what are the qualities of your thoughts? Are they high frequency thoughts or are they low frequency thoughts? Do you spend most of your time thinking about how things are unfair, how you feel victimized, jealous, judgmental, powerless? These are low frequency thoughts. Do you spend most of your time believing that you're empowered and in control and you're happy for other people's successes and you're not judgmental? These are high frequency thoughts. You align with similar frequencies. Everything and every person in your life right now is there because its frequency is aligned with yours. If you want to change something in your life, change your frequency and watch the changes manifest. Our group of friends is also formed by our frequency. So take a look at your friends. What are they like? Are they empowered? Are they jovial? Are they active? Are they happy when someone in the group succeeds? Do they feel like they're connected to their purpose? Do they feel like they matter? This is a high vibrational group of friends to have. Or are your friends more disillusioned? Maybe think the world is out to get them, feel victimized, they'll never get ahead. Are they judgmental? Do they get jealous if someone in the group succeeds? This is a group of friends that are low vibrational. So you can figure out what your frequency is like by looking at everything in your life. Take a good look at your friends. They are going to tell you if you're high vibration or low vibration. So if you're emitting a low vibration or a low frequency, two things can happen when you're channeling. Just like on Earth, when you're forming your friends, you're going to be forming friends in the multi-dimensions. You're going to be contacting many different types of beings, and they also exude their own frequency. So if your group of friends on Earth is of a lower frequency, your group of friends in the other dimensions are also going to be of a lower frequency. And we tend to label this lower frequency as scary or evil. Those are just words that we've given that lower vibratory rate. The second thing that could happen is that you could misidentify a positive being that has approached you to help you and guide you. This is exactly what happened to me. Because for most of my life, I exuded a really heavy victim vibe. I was the best victim in the world. And so when I was coming in contact with the aliens known as the Greys, I just naturally assumed that they were abusing me too. I just naturally assumed that they were out to get me and that they were hurting me and victimizing me. That's because I was looking at life through the lens of victimization. It's not until a few years later when I began my own personal journey of looking inward that I realized, oh, they weren't out to hurt me and they're not evil. That's because this path that we take for those of us who are on this spiritual journey, it involves deep introspection. And through that, and it's not easy, through that I lost my heavy victimization vibration. And when I did that, I was then able to see that the contact that I had made with the Greys was to my benefit. It was not to my detriment. So it's very important that you know the type of frequency that you're exuding, and that not only do you have that frequency here on earth, but you carry it with you through all the dimensions, everywhere you go. No matter what being you meet, you still exude that frequency. Another way to control your personal frequency is through your heart. The Heart Math Institute conducted a study to determine the effects of the heart's energy upon other people. The heart radiates the largest electromagnetic field in the body. It is about 60 times greater than the brain's. The heart's electromagnetic field can be measured and detected several feet away. In other words, two people sitting beside each other on the bus or in a restaurant, in an office, can affect each other's mood without saying a word. The study showed that one person's heart can affect another person's heart by decreasing or increasing their heartbeats, in effect, calming another person or agitating another person. How do you think your heart affects others? Love is the highest frequency that there is. The more you allow your heart to love yourself and others, the more gratitude and appreciation you express to yourself and others, the higher your personal frequency will be. Most of us do not allow our hearts its full expression. We can all work on loving more. Letting your heart exude love is the quickest way to raise your frequency. Now let's turn our attention to the pineal gland. There's a radio, a TV, and a telephone in the middle of your head. Between the hemispheres of your brain, behind your eyes, is your pineal gland. It's about the size of a pea, and it looks like a pine cone. Its root, pinea, is Latin for pine cone. Through many ancient and current civilizations, the pineal gland has symbolized the meeting place between the physical self and the divine spiritual self. Your pineal gland, or mind's eye or third eye, actually resembles an eye. It has a cornea and a retina, just like your two eyes. There are rods and cones in the pineal gland, which allow you to see colors while your eyes are closed. It is connected to the visual cortex of your brain and has a fluid similar to the fluid in your eyes. So your mind's eye is an eye. This is where you see the visions from your meditations and astral travels. The pineal gland is large in children and decreases in size as we become adults. Is it the adult way of thinking which causes our valuable pineal gland to atrophy? Could it be if we maintain an expanded state of belief as children do, that maybe our pineal glands would be healthier? Being closed-minded closes your third eye. Being open-minded opens your third eye. An open and active third eye expands your extrasensory abilities to help you channel effectively. There are two forms of channeling, conscious and subconscious. First, let's talk about conscious channeling, and there are three ways that you can consciously channel. The first way is by having direct contact with another being that does not live on earth. You can either see this being in your mind's eye through your pineal gland, or you can see it in the room with you, or you can be having communication with a being which is outside in a spaceship or in the shape of an orb. When you have this direct contact with another worldly being, often its voice is different than yours. Its speech patterns are different than yours. The vocabulary it uses is different than yours. And it also often imparts knowledge on you which you never knew before. This is brand new. You've never heard of this before. This is how you know that this is not you talking to yourself. If the voice is different, if it's in speech patterns that you don't abide by, if it's vocabulary, if it's words that you don't use, and if it's brand new knowledge, those are good signs that you are in contact with another being from another dimension and you're having communication. That's direct contact with another being, whether it's in the room, whether it's outside, or whether it's in your mind's eye. The second way to consciously channel is a quantum flow download. We all exude a quantum flow or a personal energy field or an aura, and there's information that sits in that field. This quantum flow moves through everything into eternity. So the quantum flow of everything is moving through you. And in it is information about everything that's connected to this quantum flow. There is nothing that isn't connected to this quantum flow. So we have access to information about everything that is. You can pick up information about another person through their quantum flow. You can pick up information about another being, whether it's on Earth or someplace else, through its quantum flow. This is what intuitives and energetic healers plug into, the quantum flow. And they can hear, feel, and see the information that's stored in it. Sometimes the quantum flow comes in a download, which means you don't really hear words or sentences. It's an instant knowing. It's a very deep knowing. It's a knowing that goes beyond your brain. It's a knowing that sits in all your cells. All of a sudden, you just know a lot of information, and it didn't come through in words or in sentences. It was just like a download. So we can connect to this download information through someone's personal quantum flow. We can also connect to the quantum flow of our collective consciousness. So we could say that we individually have a quantum flow and that we collectively have a quantum flow. Really, they're the same thing. But to make it easier to explain, I'm going to pretend that we have an individual quantum flow and that there's a collective quantum flow of the earth, even though they're the same thing. So you can download information through Earth's collective consciousness, Earth's quantum flow. And in that energy sits all the information about Earth and Earthlings and all the animals in it and all the problems we have and all the good things that we have. And by gaining access to this information, it usually comes in a download. Because you're not in contact with a particular being, you're in contact with an awareness. You're in contact with a consciousness. And so this way of channeling through a download is actually very, very effective because it's a lot of information very quickly. There's no words necessary. There's no translation necessary. It's just comes into you and you know it. The third way to consciously channel is sensory. As you're channeling, you can feel information through your five senses. So you might feel energy moving through you. You might feel a particular part of your body getting warm or getting cold. You might feel tingly sensation in a part of your body or in a chakra. You might also smell aromas. You might taste flavors. You might hear a sound that sounds like it's right in the room. So channeling, conscious channeling, uses your five senses as well as all your other extrasensory senses. And now subconscious channeling, which is happening to all of us all day long, every day. I personally don't like the word subconscious. It portrays a different compartment of the consciousness, like they're in two different places. There's one consciousness. There's a lot of data and knowledge in that consciousness. And that knowledge and that information has its own frequency. Every little bit of data, every little bit of information and knowledge has its own frequency. And all of that is sitting in your one consciousness. There's a lot in there that we don't, that we're not aware of. And so some people throw that into the subconscious. In my opinion, there's no subconscious. Everything is sitting in one consciousness. And as we change our frequency, as we raise our frequency, we are then able to align with the bits of data and the bits of knowledge sitting in our consciousness that is aligned with that higher frequency. And we call these aha moments or epiphanies. But it's knowledge that's been sitting there the whole time, but you weren't aware of it because your personal frequency wasn't quite aligned with the frequency of that knowledge. When your personal frequency is aligned with that knowledge, you know it. That's why it's so important to raise your frequency so that you align with knowledge of a higher frequency and so that you align with people and beings of a higher frequency. And knowledge of a higher frequency is soothing and loving and kind and supportive. Knowledge of a lower frequency is scary and fearful. Subconsciously, you can channel quantum flow information from a person or a being or the collective consciousness of our planet. And you can also subconsciously channel information that results in a sensory feeling. Some of us pay attention to these feelings and some of us ignore it. You may subconsciously receive some information and a part of you will get activated and you'll feel it. And this is a sign that you just subconsciously got some information that you need to pay attention to. Don't ignore the five senses that you have. They also play a very active role in channeling, whether it's conscious or subconscious. Because all life is connected through the quantum flow, we are connected to each other and to all knowledge. Channeling is simply focusing your attention to the parts of you that exist beyond 3D. These parts of you are communicating with other beings, downloading universal information, and interacting in the other dimensions. And this is all happening to you as you sit there watching this. So let's connect to your interdimensional parts right now. It's time to channel. Make sure you're in a comfortable and quiet space. Make sure that you won't be interrupted for the next 15 minutes. Have paper and pen with you. Please use your earphones. And as far as writing what you hear, feel, and see in these meditations, it's very important. You might want to wait until the end of both meditations to write about your experiences. Some of you can write while you're having them. You can stay connected, but if you can't do that, then just write at the end of your meditation. It is important to write what you experience because we easily forget. Not only that, but the information is dynamic. Just like in the soul sessions that I do, the information in those readings might not make sense at that very moment, but when you read it 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, all of a sudden it makes perfect sense. So please keep a notebook as you meditate and write down what you see, what you feel, what you hear. No one's going to read it. So don't worry about it being stupid. No one's going to read it and judge it. If you think something's stupid, it's because your brain is hijacking your meditation. Please don't let your brain hijack your meditation. Flow freely. Write down everything you experience. Don't judge yourself. Don't second guess yourself. Your homework. Please listen to these 2 meditations as often as you can for the next 2 weeks. It would be good if you can engage in these meditations every day. That might be difficult. So every other day would be good. It's only 12 minutes. Continue writing down what you hear, feel, and see, and thumb through your notebook. Read occasionally what you're writing. And also concentrate on your thoughts. When you're having a low frequency thought, you know what they are. Immediately switch to a high frequency thought. You know what they are. I do suggest that throughout the day you keep paper and pencil with you, and every time you have a negative or low frequency thought, you make a tally mark. And at the end of the day, you could be very pleasantly surprised to find out what kind of energy you spend most of your day in. Many of us spend our day in a low frequency vibe, don't even realize it. I would love to know about your experiences, so please tell me what you hear, feel, and see. Okay, are you ready to travel through the portals of the multi-dimensions? Here we go. Meditation raises your vibration so you can align with high-frequency beings and knowledge. When you decrease your resistance and increase your vibration, you are in the perfect space to channel interdimensional information. Before we begin, please know that you are in total control. Just like on Earth, if you don't want to talk to someone, you don't have to. If you encounter a being or an energy you don't like, you simply tell it to leave. You are in total control. You will hear music for your heart chakra. You will also hear my voice guiding you. That will lead into music for your third eye. You will also hear my voice guiding you. When the music ends, you will hear a channeled message, which is also visible on the screen. If you don't want to hear it, please turn the video off.
Envision a white light surrounding your entire body. It's a white light that moves and feels warm. As this white light is encircling your body, you can feel it moving around you. You can feel its warmth surrounding you. Focus on the white light. Feel its warmth entering you. Your body feels warmer. You can feel the tingling of the white light. It surrounds you and is inside you. It's the light of love. Keep it around you. Focus on the blank screen in front of your eyes. See balls of light and energy moving across the screen. Watch them as they radiate and move across the screen. There are different colors and different sizes. They're radiating. Some are standing still, some are moving. Just watch the balls of light and energy move across. Focus on one ball of light and allow it to move to the center of the screen, and give it permission to get bigger and brighter and grow right in front of your eyes. Watch it radiate. Watch it swirl. It's beautiful. It's speaking to you. Connect with it. You are the reflection of and a reflector of the energy of your planet. Each of you are your own microcosms, living in unison with billions of realities. We would like to play a game with you today. We ask you to pretend you are a visitor to Earth from another reality, which houses living beings and natural beauty. We ask you to take the view of a foreigner to your realm. In this game, we wish to guide you towards self-empowerment. Upon the acceptance of a detached view, will you be able to see the simplicity of your Earth? Yes, it's simple in its workings. Through various civilizations and control seekers, you are under the belief that your planet is complex. The only complexity is that which rules your minds into believing you are operating in a gigantic sea of turmoil and frustration. Do you realize how much power results from detachment? Your freedom is directly proportional to your mental attachments. An attachment is that which represents you. An attachment is that which you have determined to be your adjective. How many adjectives have you accumulated in hopes of projecting an image of yourself, which is only a delusion to keep you from yourself? Are you attached to being fair? Are you attached to being hardworking? Are you attached to wearing expensive items? For every adjective, fair, hardworking, rich, etc., you take one step further from yourself in hopes of clouding over what you really are. Your true nature is neutral, neither kind nor mean, neither smart nor dumb. Do you know which energy is the most neutral of all? Love. Can you consider having only one adjective, the one being loving? From there, don't define yourself, because sometimes you kind ones are not kind, and you honest ones are not honest. And when you act out of your self-imposed definitions, you feel guilt, and blame is then allowed to enter. Recipes grow outdated, and recipes also deter experimentation. If you substitute and play around with the ingredients, you produce a completely different result. So we ask you, what's in your recipe? What are the ingredients, adjectives, working together to produce the dish called you? How comfortable are you in eliminating some or all of the ingredients except for the one which must exist or nothing exists, which is love? Imagine the freedom of being only love. So this allows you to act as your heart desires in any given second, in any given situation. Imagine living so you don't have to sustain and support your recipe of being. You will feel the freedom you innately wish for. This is the true nature of yourselves, free. You are not bound to cosmic contracts or karma. You are not bound to anything. You are not forced to experience the earth consciousness. It is a field trip you signed up for. As the alien visitor, we ask you to pretend to be. What do you see on this planet? Harmony? Yes. Discord? Yes. Love? Yes. Hate? Yes. Nurture? Yes. Torture? Yes. And each and every one of you house the same energy. Some of you have chosen to exhibit one side of it more than the other. Some of you wish to explore more gradients of your dual energies, but your society wants you to define yourself and stick to that definition. Otherwise, you are troubled or going through something like a midlife crisis. There isn't much permission to change on your earth. You better stick to your definitions, or you're having a life problem or a mental breakdown. So you, the alien, are witnessing the cosmic dance of self-identity, and it is comical because it is a behavior which is self-defeating and self-imposed. The waves of energy created from your inability to freely expose your mind causes the same disaster over and over. If you watch the Titanic hit the iceberg over and over, you would laugh in disbelief. The first disaster wasn't enough. It had to go back for another. Many of you live your lives like that, and the reason is because you refuse to let go of your definitions. The alien sees every human encompassing every adjective existing in your realm, for all ways of being and their correlated energies rest in your Earth planet aura, also known as Earth's collective consciousness. So to the alien, each one of you are everything on Earth. Each of you are all of Earth. Each of you are ugly and beautiful, murderous and life-supporting, impatient and patient, and in any second, any adjective can be expressed. Where do your thoughts like to linger? It's comical to the alien how consumed you are with other people's actions and efforts made to hold them to their definitions. The alien wonders why you don't turn that microscope gaze upon yourself. If you looked at yourself under the hyper-powerful cosmic microscope, there would be just one element visible: love. The alien wonders why the humans ignore their one basic building block. If you didn't ignore the love within you, you would be in love with yourself. And if you were in love with yourself, you'd be whatever you are in that moment. The freedom to be and the freedom to express are bringers of joy to your hearts. The next time someone asks you to describe yourself in 3 words, may we suggest, I am love, loving, and loved. The love that runs through you is the same love running through us. We love you, for we know no other way to be. Thank you.